Well, this is my guess. This is where mission really meets impact.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black business and related news, strategy, and events.
Welcome to this edition of Black Wall Street Today. I am your host, Blair Durham, and I am excited as always to have a conversation with a member of the Black Wall Street Today community. I'm really excited though, because Brandy Hubbard is an expert with regard to all things finance. And part of why that is so significant to me is because I believe that, we can do anything. We can build anything. We can create any business. We are more than capable. But if we don't understand how to leverage our money, how to make it work for us, then all of those efforts are for nothing at all. And so this for me is a level 2 conversation. This is 201. So talk to us a little bit, Brandy. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. I want to start by just talking about your background and how you sort of got into the industry. You've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
meet people and, sometimes it can be kind of fly by night. But when you
hmm
meet someone that has been doing this as long as you have, I think that deserves some recognition, first of all.
Thank you.
But how did you get into the industry? Tell us a little bit about that background story.
Yeah, so originally, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer, and I worked for law firms. I was a legal assistant for many years. And, it was just, they wanted you to work yourself to death. And anything that I do, I want to be the best at. So
Absolutely.
basically, if that was the case, I would be looking at partnership track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the law firm I worked at, Blair, they had showers in there, you know, like they didn't want you to go home, basically.
High-end firm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And and at the time I was young, I had a single mom, my daughter, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Like just working constantly, not having that quality time,
Yeah.
with my little one. So I was like, look, there has to be something better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And by doing that,
I think we all have gotten to that point where it's like,
mhm,
wait a minute, you mean I'm going to spend 30 to 50% of my life at
right,
work
right.
and then another 30% sleep? So what part am I going to get to be like,
Exactly. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to be a present mom. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want someone else raising my daughter. So, I started
Wow.
thinking it got to be a better way out here. And I started thinking about, I was looking at different shows and, looking at entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, you know what? That sounds like me.
Mm-hmm.
Time, freedom, unlimited income. If I put the effort in, I could get paid what I feel, what I'm worth,
Yep.
basically. So I was like, this is sounding real good and appealing to me. And I just happened to run into a gentleman um, who ended up becoming my mentor,
Okay.
and he was in financial services and he just took me under his wing.
That's important.
And here I am today,
Yeah. So
25 years
how
later.
long had he been in the industry when you first
When
connected?
I first met him, that's a good question. We were just talking about this the other day. He had probably been in the industry maybe 7 or 8 years,
Okay. Wow. Okay. But
before.
that was still significant. It wasn't
Right.
like he was a newbie.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. And he looked like he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. He wore glasses.
Yeah,
Like, okay. He's got it together.
you funny.
No, I mean, no, I know the type. It's like, okay, you know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
So you have an exciting recruiting event that's coming up.
Right.
And I know this is this is my guess. This is where mission really meets impact, which is when you have these events and you're able to
Girl,
kind of infuse life into folks that are having that same thought as you, which is, how can I get out of this rat race? How can I spend more time with my
girl,
family?
I'm having flashbacks.
See? I
Girl,
know.
you get me excited, Blair.
So tell me, who
Let me
should
tell
be
you
there, all of
why I'm
that.
so passionate about this. I remember those days when I would go food shopping.
Yeah.
And before I get up to the checkout counter, I was counting up items just to make sure I had enough money,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Working those long hours and still not having enough. There was more bills at the end of the month than
Then there
money.
was money.
Okay.
We know about,
And so
I'm
I
telling
know
you.
what that's like. So I get so passionate about speaking about this recruiting event because I know what it did for my life.
Yeah.
It literally changed my life, and I know there are so many people out there, especially in the economy that we're living in right now,
Hmm.
who are living paycheck to paycheck, who have more bills at the end of the month than they do money,
That's
who,
most Americans
yeah,
right there.
tired of struggling, in the rat race,
Hmm.
loaded with debt, can't breathe. And you know what's so sad? So many people say, I'm a die in debt, but you don't have to.
Right.
So I'm
It's a
looking
better way
forward
to
to this.
live
I'm
than
looking
with
forward
that.
to this event. It's gonna be so lit. They gotta come. The whole thing is, even if you love what you do, but you just want to earn some additional income,
Okay.
right?
Still for you.
Right.
Okay.
Make some income that's gonna have an impact, right?
Hmm.
Do something that's gonna change the trajectory of so many other people's lives. An extra $1,000 a month can change somebody's zip code.
Hmm. And sometimes that's the change that we need right there.
The environment, right, that we're in. And
Yes.
so I'm excited. It's going to be exciting. Come out and see it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a teacher, we have nurses. We have some people that work with us, Blair, that make more with us part-time than they do on a full-time job.
Wow. So they want it all. They say I'm keep my regular job with the benefits and I'm gonna do this on the side and that's gonna be my vacation slash saving slash all the
Mhm.
things.
Right. They utilize those funds to put their kids through college or, to travel or, just to build up a rainy day fund or, it's so much you could do with that additional income. But some of them actually love what they do. We have a lot of nurses, that work with us and educators. So, they
Hmm.
love the kids, they love what they're
Definitely need the
doing.
supplemental
Yes,
income.
but they
Yeah.
just need that supplemental income.
Love it. Okay. So I think I'm clear on who should be at the event. So what kind of work do agents with your particular agency actually do?
We have a broad scope of products that we can offer, whether it be life insurance, disability, Medicare, subs, it's so many different things. So that's why I say come to the event because, you may be someone who loves the health arena but we offer so many products. So the person can actually just choose a niche,
Okay.
like myself, even though we have so many products that we can offer, basically, I've been focusing in on life insurance and annuities, helping people with their retirement and, rolling over their money. So there's so many different aspects we can do.
Yeah.
But the main thing I want people to understand is we don't see ourselves as salespeople.
Okay. That's important.
Yeah, we see ourselves as educators.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, knowledge is key. We want to educate people on the different products that can help protect their income,
Hmm.
eliminate debt,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's going to help them to create that legacy. And one of our main focuses is helping people to get out of debt.
Okay.
And I think that has been the most impactful where we can show people how to pay off their mortgage, their student loans, credit card debt, card note, all of that
Yeah.
in 9 years or less.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
here you have someone who thought they were going to die in debt. And we have literally seen people who come to tears when they know, you mean to tell me I could be out of debt and I'll only be 45, or I could be completely out of debt and live my life on my terms. So,
Yeah. No, I want to spend some time right there. The whole piece about the debt resolution. Because I think there's so many different feelings and opinions about debt. For some
mhm,
people, debt is leverage. That's
mhm.
how they're going to, that's how they're going to get more debt. That's how, they just see it as like, oh, the ultimate. strategy. I was reading a book recently, written by a guy who specializes in travel. That's his thing, is he teaches
Mm-hmm.
people how to like get the points so they can
Mm-hmm.
get the free travel and the free,
Right.
vacation, the whole 9 yards. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. But a big part of his strategy is around leveraging credit cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how he opened up all these cards, this one after that one, and he's got all these accounts open. He does help people to stay focused. The goal is not to like have debt on these cards,
Right.
but he uses the strategy to get people free travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're talking about like, no, we're going to be done with that, that's a whole different freedom, a whole different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just curious, like, can you break that down for us? What does that look like?
That's interesting that you say that because I personally know a lot of people who utilize their credit cards
Mhm.
to get free hotels and free
Oh
trips and
yeah, and they get to go to the Sky Club, child. They in a whole different section of the
Oh,
airport,
okay.
much less the airplane. The airport, they got their own
Right.
room. And you're
Okay.
like,
In the world.
I thought that was like the smokers lounge, but then I realized no, this is like we have the
Okay.
points over here.
Okay. And if you're not in the points
Like,
club,
who are you talking to? So I'm like, well, do I want to find out about it or do I not want to find out about it?
you have to be
Discipline.
extremely, you said it before I did. When
Because
I
I know
say
it's a thing.
extremely disciplined, because let me
Yeah.
tell you what happens. You say, okay, I'm gonna, because it happened to me, and I know all about finances. And
hmm
I had to quickly snap
Snap back.
myself out
Yeah.
of it and say,
Yep.
hold up,
Yep.
I gotta pay this off. You know what I'm saying? So you put all, you start adding all this up on your credit card, and it can add up very quickly. Next thing you know, you're like, how did I spend 5 grand?
Yeah.
Right.
In
Because
restaurants,
you know what happens?
online,
You say, I'm gonna swipe this, I'm gonna eat out today, and I'm gonna go home and I'm
or
gonna pay
moving.
it. And that don't happen sometimes.
Because you like having it all. You like
Okay.
having your money in the bank, right? You want it all. When I say you, I mean me, right? And I mean, we're all guilty of this. It's like this balancing act, you know?
And life be lifing.
Yeah.
You may legitimately say, I'm gonna move that,
hmm
and then all of a sudden you get
Boom.
home, your tires busted out. That money that you was about to put on that $200 meal you spent at Aberdeen Bar
Mm-hmm.
has, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to do it next week.
We start telling ourselves, you know what? I'm going to treat myself.
Right,
I deserve this.
right.
I work hard. Like we
Yes.
got a whole list. I owe this to myself. I
Girl,
grew up poor.
I can tell you some stories.
hmm
People don't have a rent paid,
yeah,
but they up on the beach in Aruba.
they doing some stuff, hanging out.
Where is the priorities? So, although that sounds good and getting the points, and you really have to have the mindset. You have to be ready for that.
Yes.
It's the same concept like people who sit there and they win the lottery
hmm
and then 2 years later they're broke.
I saw we at about 410 million. And I was having that same thought, like somebody gonna win it and they probably gonna blow it, you know?
Because their mindset isn't right.
Yeah.
So although that might be a concept and it could work for some,
hmm
being debt free is a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
No debt, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. You're building wealth.
hmm
It's so funny. Like the other day, I was like paying the bills and stuff, and then I went back and I said, "Oh, I already paid it." You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Like,
hmm
I mean, it's just a good feeling to
Yeah.
be there. So, nobody's saying that all debt is bad. Some people say, well, don't pay off your mortgage. You could utilize the equity and this and that. But let's be real. Would you rather be loaded with debt or be totally debt free and then also have wealth and have money in your account
Yep.
to fly and do the things you want to do anyway?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times you're trying to get those points and
Yeah.
and,
Those
and, and
points come
fly.
with a cost.
Right. And
Them
you're
points
trying
ain't
to,
free.
Right, and you're trying to do all of that because you're trying to what? Save money.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
find ways to,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to get ahead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, these conversations about creating wealth and just shifting people's mindset,
Yeah.
it's so important. Let's get rid of the GoFundMe accounts.
Could we do that?
Can we at least do that?
Could we please?
Because you're
I mean,
already,
a GoFundMe for an emergency,
Mhm.
you know, okay. But for all
But
burial expenses,
but even emergencies, right? If we're putting money aside and creating that emergency fund,
then that's the
we won't need
that's the one.
GoFundMe,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
So,
It's true.
we're just trying to get people to think differently and to understand the importance of having good financial health
Yeah.
as well as
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah. We have to do that work.
Mhm.
So, and I feel like we have answered these questions already, but do a deeper dive on, why is helping families protect their income so important to you and your team? Thinking about the life insurance side, I know life insurance is almost like a four-letter word for some folks. I know I
Mhm.
remember, Brandy,
Mhm.
I remember the insurance man from when I was a child.
Yes. Okay.
He would be coming because
Some of them did not.
that's how he collected his premiums
They
every
walked
month.
right in the house. I was like, who is that?
And my mom would be like, "Oh, that's the insurance man." It's
Hmm.
like, okay, what does that mean? But
Yeah.
now I understand what that means. It costs me a huge chunk of my income every month to make sure that I understand what that means, but I
Right.
understand what that means now, right?
Right.
So talk about income protection. I just think that's a
Right.
totally different framing of life insurance because most people
Yes.
are focused on like a death benefit and what they like
Right.
it's income protection
Yes.
because you have a family.
Yes.
So
Yes.
go ahead. Sorry.
Because no, that's okay.
I'm passionate
Girl,
about it too. I'm
yes.
passionate about it too.
Yes. Because think about it. Like most people don't think about life insurance for anything other than the death benefit,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So here you have a family, maybe they have two children,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say the father's the breadwinner. We're just going to use that as an
Yeah.
example.
Okay.
Let's say he makes decent 75 grand a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
His youngest child may be five, right? That wife, she does work, but he brings in the bulk of the income.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he goes out here tomorrow and don't come home, right? She was counting on that 75 grand a year at least until the little one was grown. So we're talking about another 13 years. That 75,000 has been gone, wiped out, it's gone.
She gone.
You have a $2,500 mortgage, car, what are you going to do?
Right.
So no one thinks about, they think about being able to have a funeral for him, but nobody ever really thinks about, well, that income he was bringing in is gone.
The cost
What are you going to
associated
do?
with his loss.
So now, not only
Yeah.
have you lost someone you really love, right, and care
Mm-hmm.
for,
Mm-hmm.
but now your whole life may change because
Yep.
now you can't afford to stay in that house.
Everything.
So now you got to move. And chances are, if you're moving because you can't afford to stay in there, now you got to go to a neighborhood where that may not be as
Desirable.
appealing or
Yeah.
desirable.
Yep.
Your children have to move to what? A new school. All of these things you don't think about,
It's a lot.
right? So when you think about protecting that income, you're putting something in place so that if someone, and it doesn't even have to be a spouse, you have a lot of people today who are living with their sister,
Yep.
or living with a family member because prices are just that crazy that they have to live with someone, right? But you are counting on that person's income to help you live. So I want to throw that out there because oftentimes, Blair, people think that if they're single, they don't necessarily need to protect their income. But if someone is counting on you to survive, so when you think of that, she would need at least 13 times 75,000,
Wow.
right? And that's only putting a child to what, 18? What if he was going to go to college? Now you're looking at 75,000 times what? 17 years? And that doesn't even include all those years where he may have gotten a raise, right?
Correct.
So even if you just did 75,000 times 13, well, times 10 is 750,000 for math purposes, but
Hmm.
you're looking at about $1 million worth of coverage.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
most people only have what? Maybe 20,000.
maybe.
They can't even last a year
Mm-mm.
if something happens to that person.
Mm-mm.
Income protection is very important. And not only if someone passes away prematurely, you have to protect your income. What if you get sick? What if you're diagnosed with cancer and can't work for 6 months? If you don't have short-term disability, long-term disability, how are you going to pay the bills? Most people lose their homes, or even if they don't own a home and they're renting, become homeless as a result of an illness.
Wow.
Not even so much passing away. They just didn't have anything in place for the what ifs, right?
Hmm. Yep.
And even if you work a job where you have what the PTO, right? Paid time off, what if all your PTO is gone and that
Hmm.
employer may say, well, we'll keep your job, but you're on leave without pay. Now what?
Yeah. That is really, really sobering. I think most people probably feel like, okay, if something happens to this one, then the next one gonna show up, and that's whose income I'm gonna leverage in order to keep doing life as I was doing it. But that's a risky assumption. Why
What
wouldn't
if the
you
next
want
one
to?
don't show
I
up?
know. Why wouldn't you want to have something in place so that you're not Yeah. So I get it. I get it. It
Mm-hmm,
makes sense to me.
mm-hmm,
If you just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street today. We're talking with Brandy Hubbard, finance guru. We've talked about everything from debt reduction to um, income protection. And now I think I want to understand. So, American Classic Agency, I know it provides a lot of training and support
mm-hmm.
to people that are new or transitioning agents. Can you talk about, for people that are hearing this and they're just like, oh my goodness, this sounds like the work that I need to be doing
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sick of this in the community.
Mm-hmm.
How would they be supported by your agency?
Great question. A lot of times when people get involved or they get started in this industry,
Yeah.
they're kind of thrown out there to sink or swim,
Hmm.
or they're loaded down with videos, for their training.
Yeah. Sit in
Watch
front of
this
the
video.
computer for the next 28
Right.
days and then give us a call.
Right. And even though we do record our live training sessions,
Okay.
for those who, we understand that everybody's schedule is not going to be as such where they can tune into something live.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But we do a lot of live training. We have live training 4 times a week. It may even be more than that. Monday evenings, we have a lot of part-timers, as I had mentioned earlier, college students, right?
Yeah.
Who really, need to earn additional income, but may not necessarily want to punch a clock, because they have to study, they may have an exam, they may, but if you have that flexibility of working, on your own terms, this is great for college students to earn additional income. But yeah, we have trainings Monday mornings, we have them in the evenings for those who are part-time. We
Okay.
also do a training on Thursday mornings, and we also provide training on Saturdays. So there's like no excuses, right?
I
Um,
love that.
yeah.
Because
So,
people have a variety of different schedules and
right,
scheduling needs. So
right,
I think that
right.
makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
Okay. And then um I guess I'm curious, like, what if I wanted to work with you? Like,
Hmm.
do you provide some of this training as well?
Oh, absolutely. Hands-on mentorship. I often have people who can shadow me, or a lot of times, if you have your own, market or network, I'll help you, close the deal. We like to
Yeah.
say you can earn while you learn,
Mm.
type of thing.
Okay.
Because it is a lot to learn, but we're just very excited about um, our mentorship program and how we've been able to really help people to get in a position where they're earning that income that they need, whether it's an extra $1,000 a month, or if you're someone who's like, look, I heard enough. I want to do this, full time. And we don't encourage anybody to just quit your job. I
Okay.
want to put that out there.
Why not though? Why not?
Well, because I mean, not unless you have a nice little nest egg. Because anything that you start, Blair, it's going to be a learning curve, right?
Yes.
So we're not telling you, yeah, quit your job. You're going to make 25 grand your first month. What if you don't?
Yeah.
We don't see anybody on the street. We take this personal, right? So we have some people that everybody's, doesn't have that skill, right? But we
Hmm.
do have some people who are like, I'm in, and
All
they
in.
hit the ground running.
Okay.
Because some people
Do they
have,
last?
some of them do,
Okay.
but
Okay.
some of them have the mentality that if I have a job, that's a safety net. And I'm not going to really put my all into it because I know I got a check coming.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
some people feel like if I have that safety net, I'm not going to give it what I feel it needs. And we've had some people do that, but we don't encourage that because the average person, you know, is going to need time, right? But just
Yes.
look at it, even for those who are about to retire, from a job,
Yeah.
but they still want to be doing something, this
Hmm.
would be great, right?
Yeah.
Join the movement, help us to educate the community, right?
Sure.
Because we really take it personal. We really feel like life insurance is a vehicle that can do so many things, the tax benefits, the strategies, just teaching people all these different ways that they can utilize this product, and just the educational movement in the community to get people to think different instead of saying, I'm not leaving them nothing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
mean,
Hmm.
that
Makes
really,
sense.
that's gut wrenching to hear, people say, right?
It is.
Right. So, we take it personal. Helping families protect their income and eliminate debt is personal to us.
It is personal.
When income isn't protected, one unexpected moment, whether it's a job loss, or illness, or worse, can send an entire household into a crisis. So we're on a mission to break these cycles, right? We're teaching people how to build safety nets, not just for emergencies, but for their future. And we don't just want people to get by, right?
Hmm.
We want to teach them how to thrive.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense. I want to close on
Mm-hmm.
getting the full scoop of what's happening on August 21st. What is this event going to be? Where is it? What time? How can people attend?
Yes.
Um, yeah, give us that.
Get excited.
Get
If you are
excited.
not there, you are going to miss an opportunity that can literally change your life. Come check us out. It's going to be at the Residence Inn, 1500 Crossways Boulevard, Chesapeake, Virginia, right over there by Greenbrier. Listen, let me tell you how serious I am.
How
The
serious?
president
Uh-oh.
and CEO, owner, along with the chief marketing officer, they're driving 4 hours down here to
Wow.
Hampton Roads, Virginia, to help with this event. How many times can you actually meet a president and CEO of a multi-million dollar, you know, agency, right? That he's willing to just sit there and pour into you.
That's
This is
incredible.
an event you do not want to miss. And even if you don't feel like, well, I'm not sure if this is something I want to do to earn income, come and learn a few things about how it can change your life on a financial,
Yeah,
standpoint.
sure.
But just be in the room. This is not something that happens all the time where I can get the president and chief marketing officer to come down. So let's show them how Hampton Roads, Virginia do it, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I need y'all support. I need y'all to be in the room. Let's show them how we do it. But more importantly, don't miss out on something that can change your life, whether it be you want the information or whether it be, this is something that I think I could do to earn that additional income that I need. And if you want a whole new career track, we can talk about that too.
That's
But
cool.
we help you put plans in place, so that we want to see you be successful.
So give us the website. How can we get to register for the event?
Oh, well, actually, I have an Eventbrite link.
Okay.
So what they might need to do, because that was one thing that we don't have it on the website. We put it on Eventbrite.
Okay. Okay.
But if
How
you
can I search it on
money
Eventbrite?
money moves mission driven.
Money Moves, Mission
Mission
Driven
driven.
on Eventbrite
Right, on
is how
Eventbrite.
you can access the link to be
Right.
able to attend the event.
Or just shoot me a text
Okay.
at 443
Mm-hmm.
864 7337. I'll make sure you get that link. It has more information about the event,
Okay.
right? If you follow me on Facebook, Brandy Hubbard, I'm posting, promo videos everywhere.
Okay. Okay.
Next door, I'm all over the place.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yes, I'll get you that information.
Awesome.
Yeah, but 6:30 p.m., residents in Chesapeake, Greenbrier
Got it. Got it.
on the
Brandy, this has
21st.
been August 21st.
Mhm,
Awesome.
mhm.
This has been so insightful. Really appreciate just the passion that you bring to this industry, and to the community.
Thank you.
For
I
sure.
appreciate you for
All
everything you
these
do for
decades
us.
of service, this is incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
I enjoyed this. I
I
had a
only get
good
to do this
time.
because you do what you do, right? So thank you so much. And certainly we look forward to being a part of the event. And I want to thank you for tuning in to Black Wall Street today, where we are building minds, we're building connections, and we're forging the path ahead toward business success in the Black community. We will talk soon.